I guess, first of all, I'll just introduce myself again. My name is Ozil Sam, from the MAPS board. I want to recognize our other board members who are in attendance. We have Kim Hicks, who's our board member from the YWCA. Penny Brinton, our board member for Futures. And we have Rob Cleveland, our board member, who's our rep for the RCMP. And Heather Bonner, who is our rep for the Friendship Center. Jack, our elder, who just finished blessing the home here for our new Phoenix House transitional housing for women. I want to also recognize our staff, our executive director, Michelle Nickel, and we also have Charlotte Larocque over there, who will be the manager of the transitional house for both men and women. We are in the one for females, but just across this sidewalk we have the one for men as well. That's been open since 2013. It's been very successful, as mentioned in our AGM we just finished. We have over a 90% success rate. Jack, I just want to go back on what you're saying, and thank you very much for your words. As a person who grew up in a household with 5 boys and one mother, I understand the challenges that a lot of women face, single families. We're hoping that this home will be one part of the solution. We know it's not the whole. We need a community approach. I know with Les, who's here on behalf of the City of Thompson, the City of Thompson is committed to a very holistic approach. Bring together all the partners that will need to really start to address it. It's a huge problem, but we are trying to slowly pick away at it. So thank you for your words. I want to, before we go do a walkabout in the house, I want to recognize our funders. The Reaching Home program from the Government of Canada was instrumental in, and as I mentioned, the AGM, funding us twice for this project. I want to thank Andrea Hatley, who could not be here today, for her efforts in helping us get some funding. Actually, not some, a lot of funding from the Government of Canada. I want to also thank the province of Manitoba through Shared Health and the Stats of Women, who also were, in fact, they were the one who got the ball going with me back in December of this year, contacting me to ask if there are options for us to increase our footprint when it comes to more transitional housing. And they knew the need out there. So they actually first started the dialogue. So I do want to recognize them. I want to also recognize the Thompson Community Foundation. And Dave Moore is here on behalf, he's the president of the TCF this year. As I mentioned at the AGM, the Thompson Community Foundation has actually been a very long-term partner with us through multiple projects over the years. They represent the need of Thompson so well, so I want to thank your board as well for everything you do. So at the end of the day, we are going to be open for business. Michelle and Tracy and Charlotte, the staff people from MAPS, will be the contact person for people who are interested in coming in to not just the women's transitional house, but also the men's. This house just finished doing some renos. We're still in the process of finishing off some. It's about a $640,000 initiative. That's why I'm saying I'm so glad that the two levels of government plus our local funders were able to come together. It recognizes that in today's day, the problems are so big. We need partnerships. We need people to come together. We need different organizations to come together. Our MAPS board, I think, in essence, when we were first created, symbolizes that. We have corporate membership from all of the, I wouldn't say all of the stakeholders, but, the ones that we work with the most, they're all part of our board. It enhances the dialogue, the communication. So this is our path going forward. The house itself accommodates 12 people. There's 12 rooms, 6 on each side. We did a number of renovations. I'll let you guys do a walkabout after. You don't have to follow me. You can just go along. The one next to us, we are still in a process of finishing off, but by all means, if you want to go in there, there's still some stuff that has to be done. But as I say, there's 6 on each side. It has built-in counseling services, and I think that's the key, and that's why we've been so successful with the Phoenix House for Men. It's not just a roof overhead, even though we recognize, as Kim mentioned this morning on the Family Marriage Show, with the Housing First Initiative, and I want to also recognize her program, the SHIFT program. Stands for
Sheltering Homeless.
Shelter Homeless, thank you. Recognizing that once people have a roof over their head, have the safety and the access to the basic necessities of life, that they can work on their own personal healing, their own personal growth, and so on. So we recognize that, and it's a very worthwhile program. So I commend the Y for that. But this transitional housing for women, the Phoenix House, will have counseling services. Michelle, who is our not just our executive director, she's also the lead therapist. Will be working with the women, working with Charlotte, who is the manager of the transitional housing, to not just help the women to have home, but also help them with set their own goals and how they want to go about trying to achieve, a growth in their own life, whether it's reunification with their families, with the community, education. She'll be working with all of our stakeholders. So in that, I'm just allow everyone to walk around. I think, Paul, I don't know if you want to still do the walkabout with the camera. So Paul will just be going around with us to just show some main things. Does anyone have any questions? Dave?
Do you mind if I speak just?
Yeah, sure. Come on, yeah.
Thank you very much, Ozzy, Michelle, and the board. Again, I'm with the Thompson Community Foundation, and we just want to bring our greetings from our executive board and from our executive director that I've read that people can't deal with their issues until they relax. Once they relax and having a roof over their heads and knowing that they're not going to be out on the streets, they can start realizing the issues that they're dealing with and start healing. So this is an important reason to have these facilities here for the people in need. So it's our pleasure to be involved with this. So again, from the Thompson Community Foundation, thank you very much.
Thank you. Thanks, Dave. Yes, Arthur?
Yeah, there's something that I have to share with you. I work a lot with these people on the street. I took this one lady for breakfast the other morning at the Northern Inn. And after we had breakfast, she said, "Jack, I'm so grateful for bringing me here. I can't remember the last time I ever ate in a restaurant." She lives, she was staying at 95 for a while. But then because of her addiction, she ended up having a shelter up in the bush. Now, I hope that she can find it in herself to go for more help and end up in a beautiful place like this. It's so sad when I see all these people out on the street, and I know so many of them that are living out in the bush. It's so sad when, like that woman said, I haven't eaten in a restaurant for so long, you know. So for me, I'm so grateful, and I thank my Creator that I'm able to see a place like this for all our women and men also. Thank you.
I want to also recognize Lori, who is here for AFM. Giselle Demuse, who's also on our board as one of our corporate members, could not be here today, but AFM is such a critical partner with us. Because they work alongside. I know countless times Michelle and Tracy have been in dialogue with AFM to see which individuals would be a good fit for the men's transitional house coming out of treatment, and now with the women's transitional house as well. I see Haley. Oh, is that Emily? Oh, sorry, with the mask I can't tell people. Thanks, Emily. Emily's here on behalf of the Nikki Ashton.
She's on her way here.
Oh, is she here? Okay, great. Yeah, we're just about to tour anyway, so Nikki will be here as well, our member of parliament. So in saying that, we're going to do the tour, but before, actually, one last thing I want to mention. He is one of those unsung heroes. I mentioned Paul in my report at the AGM today. Paul and Dave Moore. So much of the things that we deal with, a lot of the discussions and a lot of the challenges comes from people not quite understanding or not having enough information on the things we do. I want to say one thing with Paul from Shaw and with Dave, Tom O'Brien from CHTM. They have been so helpful to MAPS to help present our information to the broader audience. I can't stress how important it is, because when we talk about the homeless population or we talk about people's addiction and so on, half the battle is trying to explain their story and trying to explain it from their point of view. Everyone has their own opinions on things, and I think through the media, through Shaw, and through the radio station, I think we've been able to at least provide some of their side of the story, and that's been very helpful. So Paul, thank you very much. No one can see Paul right now because he's behind the camera, so thank you for that. So in saying that, I will be doing a tour about anyone. You guys don't always have to go in a group. If you want to go off on your own and check out some stuff, go right ahead. And now I'd like to also introduce our long-time member of parliament, Nikki Ashton, who, as you guys will know, when it comes to issues dealing with women and children, she's been a really strong advocate for us in Ottawa. So I'd like to welcome Nikki. Thank you for coming out for the opening of the Women's Transitional House, and say a few words for us.
For sure. Thank you so much, Ozzy. Thank you for your kind words and for all your leadership. Today is a great day, and I just want to acknowledge Ozzy, everyone involved in making today possible. This is a critical time, not just for our community, but really for our whole country and the world. We've seen gender-based violence against women on Shaw sharp rise. We know that it's also connected to the broader challenges that we face, and what we need to see at this time are community-based solutions, and that's why I really want to appreciate the work that's being done here, the opening of this beautiful home, and thank everyone involved in doing that. This is about ending, creating safe spaces, ending gender-based violence, lifting women up in our communities, and I'm so grateful to be here to honor this day and to support this work going forward. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Nikki. Once again, Nikki does so much work for us on behalf of some of the lobbying. And I think it's very important to have that strong voice to talk about Northern Manitoba and the challenges that we're facing. So, Nikki, thank you again. Thank you. And now we will go about doing a bit of a tour. Additional house for women, much like the one for men, is a side-by-side. There's 6 on each side, 6 rooms on each side for a total of 12 rooms. This is on one side of the house. It's number 15. And this is, of course, our living room area. Each of the sides will have a general communal area, which is very important because one of the things that we said in a communal setting is important for our clients to not just participate in our program, but what we find is that it's so important for them to be able to support each other. We find that quite often advice being provided by our clients comes from other clients, and it's been very helpful. So having a communal area is extremely important. So this is the living room area. We have our kitchen right there, and on the first floor we have 2 rooms. This, of course, is the washroom here. As you can see, is good-sized rooms. This is one room here. We have every room has its own TV, and he'll have his own fridge for anything that they want to keep inside the fridge. We will be having tables here as well. And here's another important thing as well, is that every room will have its own iPad. That will allow Michelle, who is our lead clinician, to be able to provide in-house counseling to each of our clients in the privacy of their own room. So that will be part of the programming that we'll be offering. So once again, that's going to become, of course, with COVID, everything's been slowed down. We're hoping to get this next week or the week after. Okay, so. And this, of course, is just the other one of our rooms. I'll turn on the lights. Let's see, the rooms up are fairly spacious, and beautiful view, of course, as well. So I'll take you guys downstairs. So say this is one of the washrooms here. Our dining room area right here. Once again, we try to encourage as much. So we collect some. We try to encourage as much communal living. So it'll give a chance for our clients to sit down and eat together, have a discussion. We also, aside from doing the counseling through the iPad, we also have a housing manager who will be doing as well along with Michelle group discussions. So Charlotte LaRock is our manager of our transitional housing for both men and women. So she's going to be coming down here a fair bit to also work with our clients. So in saying that, I'll take you guys. Take you guys downstairs.
Yeah. So I have another young guy.
Now, Paul, I'll ask you to be careful when you're walking down the stairs. We did install some lighting down here. So downstairs has 4 rooms. Okay. So once again, this is one of our rooms down here. Same setup. We'll have everyone has their own TV. and they'll each have their own desk and their own iPad. We have a couple small rooms here just due to the configuration, but there's 4 rooms downstairs along with another washroom. And then finally we have our laundry room where people will be able to, of course, do their own laundry. And that's basically the tour of this site. So the other side is same as this side, so I don't think we need to really go through this much. But once again, if you are interested, you know anyone interested in accessing the transitional house for both men or women, you can contact our office, speak to Michelle or with Charlotte or with Tracy. Our number is 778-6040.